Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Personal Finance Podcast. As you know, in these podcast series, we always focus more on investor management rather than investments management. Our aim is to try and understand our behavior, our biases towards investment, what we can control, and what we need to learn beyond this daily news and headlines that we are exposed to 24/7. So, what are we talking about today? Today, let's take a hypothetical situation. We have been hearing a lot about Sanjay Kapoor's 30,000 crore inheritance row, isn't it? So, let's assume this. Let's say you wake up tomorrow and there's $1 billion sitting in your bank account. Yes, not a scam, not a dream, a real, actual $1 billion deposit. It could be inheritance, it could be lottery, a tech buyout, or some family fortune that suddenly finds its way to you. You open your banking app and there it is. 1 followed by 9 zeros. Chances are you will be shocked. You may not even believe it. You refresh the screen a few times, check if someone played a prank, and then once the reality begins to sink in, something else will happen. Your emotions hijack your brain. You feel euphoria, then disbelief, then fear, then excitement again. But there's one emotion in this moment, that one emotion that you may feel, and that is most dangerous probably, and that is confusion. Because you're thinking, what now? You're officially one of the richest people in your city, and yet you don't know what to do next. Do you quit your job? Do you book that vacation to Italy? Do you buy that ocean-facing home? Do you call your parents and say that they'll never have to worry again? Do you start looking for new finance professionals to guide you? Or do you just sit there, your heart racing, trying to catch your breath? Here's the thing. Everyone thinks more money means more happiness. But in most cases, more money without clarity simply creates more mess. Ask any lottery winner. Ask the athletes who went bankrupt. Ask the tech founders who lost themselves after they exited their business or sold it. Ask the families who fought over inheritance and never spoke again. Sudden wealth without clarity has destroyed more lives than most people care to admit. There are a few real life stories. One gentleman in his early 40s inherited 100 crores from the sale of ancestral land. He was humble, middle class, had worked a government job. But when money arrived, everything changed. He quit his job. He bought 3 cars. One of them was a Lamborghini. He invested in 2 restaurants, a gym, and a farmhouse. He started lending money to relatives and friends, often without documentation. And within 5 to 7 years, he was broke, emotionally exhausted, financially drained, and completely lost. Then there's this young cricketer who was given a large endorsement check at the peak of his career. He spent it all in 2 years on luxury brands, cars, watches, parties, and then came injuries, silence, and then regret. And of course, there's the tech entrepreneur who exited his company for a massive valuation. He built a team of wealth managers and investment bankers around him. They promised him alpha, access, alternatives. He ended up with half a dozen PMS schemes, a dozen AIFs, 5 luxury homes, and over-leveraged family office. Today, he doesn't even know what he owns or why he owns it. He has wealth, but he also has stress. And that's the problem. We think the hard part is getting rich, but the real challenge is staying wise once you are rich. So, if tomorrow you had $1 billion in your account, what would you do? Would you keep it? Would you give it away? Would you create something with it? Would you lock it up? Would you panic? Or would you just pause? Because the only people who handle health well are the ones who have asked themselves this question long before the money shows up. They know what matters to them. They know their boundaries. They know who they are. They are not seduced by the noise that money attracts. Every investor, therefore, needs to ask themselves this, not because of fantasy, but because one day a liquidity event might actually happen. Your business might get acquired, your real estate might boom, you might inherit something, or you might get an ESOP exit. And in that moment, you will need more than just excitement. You will need clarity. You will need calm. You will need a philosophy. Because if you don't have it, the whole world is there to give you one. Your banker will give you advice. Your finance professional will give you new ideas. Your CA will give you tax hacks. Your friends will give you investment tips. And Instagram, that will give you luxury ads. And before you know it, you're not living your life. You'll be living someone else's dream. That is why planning is not just about numbers. It's about prep. It's about preparation. It's about knowing what matters before the noise arrives. And it's about being able to say no when everyone is saying yes. So here's what I tell my clients. Imagine the money has come in. Now, sit down and write one page. What will you do with it? What will you not do with it? Who will you tell? What will you buy? What will you ignore? And what will you preserve? If you can answer those questions before the money arrives, you are ready. If not, then don't chase wealth until you are ready. Because the worst thing you can do is get rich without wisdom. It's like giving a jet plane to someone who doesn't even know how to fly. It looks fun until it crashes. So real wealth is not the number in your bank account. It is the peace you feel when you look at that number. It is the absence of fear, absence of guilt, greed, and anxiety. It is the confidence that your money is aligned to your goals, to your life, not someone else's life, your life. So I ask you again, what will you do with $1 billion? And if you don't know yet, that's okay. But start thinking. Because sometimes the most expensive things in life are not what we bought with money. So plan before you earn. Reflect before you spend. Be someone who's ready. Someone who's clear. Because money is powerful, but clarity is priceless. And that's what goal-based investment planning is all about. Think about it. I hope this helps you. Thank you for listening in. God bless.